Well, hey guys, welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. We are back with another fantastic review for Andor because this episode, wow, just continues. I just finished it. And I like to record these right after watching them because I really leave with the emotion of the episode. And this was a heavy episode. This is called Nobody's Listening, and that sounds dire, that sounds freaky. And that's what this episode showed us about the Empire. And I've said this in almost all of my reviews. It's getting challenging for me to talk about the show because so many things continue. I'm going to repeat myself. So many things I continue to love about every episode. But what this one did, I thought, almost more powerful than any episode yet, was just peel back the curtain. And what's really jarring, what's really chilling about this episode is things like we saw in this episode have happened in our world, are happening places around the world today. People imprisoned, put into horrible labor conditions, given no hope of escape. People brutally, investigated, interrogated for hours on end with no chance of living. Death staged to try to get exposure to your enemy. So many things we saw the Empire do can really happen, have really happened, and we're seeing that in the context of Star Wars, but it's reminding us of what we can experience in the real world. And I found that to be so powerful. Leaving this episode, it's striking. And it just goes to show the great craftsmanship behind the show and execution. What they're doing, what they're making us think about goes beyond the walls of the Skywalker heroes. It's now making us understand the evils of war, the evils of this empire. And so tip of the cap, some of the most powerful shows, and we talk about Andor being the most mature Star Wars show. Does that mean there's more blood and violence? And no, that's not what mature means. It could, but in terms of Andor, it's the storytelling, it's the weight of what you're watching. And I think it's a huge boost to the Star Wars ecosystem as a whole. This show, and I talked about this in our live stream last Thursday, this show has strengthened the original trilogy for me because you really feel what's at stake. Yes, we know there's a big evil empire, but now you see what these folks were living under, what oppression they had to experience. And those stakes were extremely high. And it's one thing to know, oh, it's a big, bad, evil empire. It's another thing to see what that truly means. So I absolutely love that Andor exists. To talk about this episode, what they continue to do is these 3-episode arcs. And so we had, we are kind of at the midpoint here on our next arc almost, and it's building towards, it looks like some big final moment. We have all of our various storylines facing very high stakes moments. We have Mon Mothma, who's now officially trying to get funding. Looks like she's going to have to look towards some organized crime to possibly help that happen. We have our boy Cereal. If you guys don't know, Cereal, who continues to eat cereal in every episode because we gave him that nickname. The showrunners knew we would. He is actually kind of coming towards his peak and trying to get Deidre to give him a chance. It's quite freaky to watch him kind of devolve into a stalker a little bit as well, consumed with the cause. We have Andor obviously in prison, going for some sort of break, planning some sort of attempted escape, and oh my goodness, we'll talk about that in more detail. And then we have no Luthen in this episode, but we see the pieces around him kind of being moved to continue to push the clamps down. What I really have been impressed with is I was worried the first 3 episodes fit in such a tight package, almost like a movie. I was like, man, is the weekly episode format going to work? It absolutely works. I am so invested. I'm my adrenaline's pumping from watching that episode because it's got so much just great storytelling and just pulls you in. Such great tension, that word I love to use about this show. I'm just completely absorbed watching every minute, trying to see what happens next. And I love that the show continues to surprise me. I never feel like the show is predictable in any way. And the storyline they've gone with the prison. Andy Serkis' acting's been fantastic, along with, the whole cast, honestly, has just been absolutely phenomenal. We're introduced to this prison system with this very tight rules, regulations, and processes. And it's dire, it's bad. And this episode adds this very unsettling tension. What happened on floor 2? An entire floor of prisoners wiped out, and this just oh, this is so uncomfortable. There's this rumor, what's going on floor 2? Everyone's panicked, the fear, you can feel that. And again, things like this happen, guys. In our world, these things have happened. And they're trying to desperately communicate what happened to floor 2. In the end, it's revealed that floor 2, yeah, someone was released, which just meant he was sent back to a different floor. People caught on to it. They killed the entire floor. It's just absolutely just eerie, absolutely frightening. And it's going to make this escape attempt even more tense. And here's the thing. We know this from the show. We know this from Rogue One. Characters we like, people we care about, they're not going to make it. And it's going to be a very tense escape, I'm sure. We obviously know he gets out. But watching that go down, I think, is going to be very, very suspenseful. And I don't know what more I can say to compliment the show. I think this is some of the best, if not the best, Star Wars that we've gotten in, golly, since Revenge of the Sith, maybe. I did love Kenobi. I've loved episodes of Mando as well. But this is really powerful storytelling. And beyond that, you know, I know some of you say it doesn't feel Star Wars. It might not have the right music, etc. And I think, again, I'll continue to repeat myself. I think this is fresh. It does feel like Star Wars. We see the visuals that are right. We see the uniforms of the Empire. We see the Senate floor. We don't hear the same themes, but we're in a different part. We're in a different story, a different level of the storytelling. We're down on the ground. It has a different sound to it. I forgot, just speaking of sound, we found a new torture method today, which was listening to the screams of murdered children of an alien species. I mean, guys, that is some messed up stuff. They don't pull punches here. There's that subreddit, The Empire Did Nothing Wrong, which is, a wonderful meme, kind of fun place. And you guys know me, I love me some Sith, love me some dark side users. But I think this show is doing a really great job of letting you know what it meant to be part of the Empire, what the Empire stands for, and why it's so evil. And if listening to the scream of dying children is not on the nose enough, I don't know what is. So I think you guys can tell I'm just blown away with the show. I love watching the show. I look forward to these episodes. I would just want more Star Wars that has this level of just craftsmanship to it. We've had some great things. I've loved Star Wars. You guys know I'm very positive on Disney Star Wars, and this is an example. We've gotten this. Without Disney buying Star Wars, I might never got Andor or some of the other projects I've loved, like Rogue One. And it's haunting in the most positive way. Great media does not have to make you feel just happy and elated and pumped up. Leaving the Joker in the theaters after I saw the Joker, it just was kind of haunting. And that can speak to powerful storytelling as well. But what do you guys think? Down below, let me know. Check out all of our reactions to Tales of the Jedi, another fantastic piece of Star Wars storytelling, especially the Dooku episodes, just completely blew me away. And what's very fascinating here is we see how Dooku was trying to bring justice and peace to the galaxy and was manipulated. And this is what was brought by his mistakes. That makes those decisions even more haunting, and same for Anakin as well. Crazy stuff. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. Again, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all again very soon.